The first Aliyah, or Jewish immigration wave, began in 1882, followed by others. Meanwhile, a Palestinian Arab national identity was also developing among the majority population that had lived there for generations. During World War I, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, supporting the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, while protecting the rights of non-Jewish communities. After the war, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate over Palestine. Tensions grew between the Jewish and Arab communities, with both claiming the right to national self-determination in the same territory. The 1920s and 1930s saw increasing conflict, including riots and revolts. After World War II and the Holocaust, pressure increased for a Jewish state. In 1947, the United Nations proposed partitioning Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. Jewish leaders accepted the plan, while Arab leaders rejected it as inequitable. After periods of independence and conquest, the Romans renamed the region Palestine around 135 CE, following Jewish revolts. The Jewish population decreased through expulsion and emigration, though some remained. Over centuries, the region saw Byzantine, Persian, and various Islamic rulers. Map animation, changing borders through history. By the 7th century CE, the region came under Islamic rule. Jerusalem became sacred to Muslims as the site of Muhammad's night journey. For most of the next 1,300 years, the area remained predominantly Arab and Muslim, while maintaining small Jewish and Christian communities. From the 16th to early 20th century, the region was part of the Ottoman Empire. In the late 19th century, as nationalism swept through Europe, a movement called Zionism emerged, advocating for a Jewish homeland in the historic land of Israel to escape persecution in Europe. The first Aliyah, or Jewish immigration wave, began in 1882, followed by others. Meanwhile, a Palestinian Arab national identity was also developing among the majority population that had lived there for generations. During World War I, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, supporting the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, while protecting the rights of non-Jewish communities. After the war, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate over Palestine. Tensions grew between the Jewish and Arab communities, with both claiming the right to national self-determination in the same territory. The 1920s and 1930s saw increasing conflict, including riots and revolts. After World War II and the Holocaust, pressure increased for a Jewish state. In 1947, the United Nations proposed partitioning Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. Jewish leaders accepted the plan, while Arab leaders rejected it as inequitable. On May 14, 1948, as the British mandate ended, Jewish leaders declared the establishment of Israel. The next day, neighboring Arab countries invaded, beginning the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. When fighting ended in 1949, Israel controlled more territory than the UN plan allocated. Jordan controlled the West Bank and East Jerusalem, while Egypt held the Gaza Strip. During this period, around 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes in what Palestinians call al-Nakba, or the catastrophe. Meanwhile, in the years following, approximately 850,000 Jews fled or were expelled from Arab countries, many settling in Israel. The 1967 Six-Day War dramatically changed the region's map. Israel captured the West Bank, East Jerusalem, Gaza Strip, Golan Heights, and Sinai Peninsula. Israel began establishing settlements in these territories, considered illegal under international law by most countries. The 1973 Yom Kippur/October War led eventually to peace between Israel and Egypt, with Israel returning the Sinai. The 1982 Lebanon War saw Israel invading Lebanon to combat the PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization. From 1987 to 1993, the First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation, erupted in the West Bank and Gaza. This eventually led to the Oslo peace process, where Israel and the PLO recognized each other, establishing the Palestinian Authority with limited self-governance. The Oslo process ultimately failed to deliver peace. The Second Intifada, 2000 to 2005, brought suicide bombings and military incursions. In 2005, Israel withdrew settlements from Gaza but maintained external control. Hamas, an Islamist group, took control of Gaza in 2007, leading to a blockade by Israel and Egypt. Several wars have erupted between Hamas and Israel since then, resulting in thousands of casualties, primarily Palestinian civilians. In the West Bank, Israeli settlements have expanded while the Palestinian Authority maintains limited control over disconnected areas. East Jerusalem remains particularly contested, as both peoples claim it as their capital. Images, diplomatic meetings, UN votes, protest movements. Peace efforts have stalled in recent decades. Issues like borders, Jerusalem's status, Palestinian refugees' right of return, security concerns, and settlements remain unresolved. Violence continues to erupt periodically, further complicating peace prospects. Cycles of rocket fire from Gaza and Israeli military responses have caused extensive destruction and civilian casualties. In the West Bank, Palestinians face restrictions on movement and resources under occupation, while Israelis face security threats including terrorist attacks. Today, the situation remains deeply divided. Israel proper is a developed nation with a Jewish majority and Arab minority citizens. Gaza is blockaded, densely populated, and controlled by Hamas. The West Bank is fragmented between Palestinian Authority areas and Israeli settlements. Jerusalem remains divided, with Israel claiming it as its eternal, undivided capital, while Palestinians claim East Jerusalem as their future capital. Most of the international community supports a two-state solution, though its feasibility is increasingly questioned. Some advocate for a single democratic state with equal rights for all, while others propose different arrangements. Meanwhile, ordinary Israelis and Palestinians continue to live with the consequences of this unresolved conflict, with different experiences of security, freedom of movement, economic opportunity, and political rights. This brief overview can't capture all the nuances of this complex history. Both Israelis and Palestinians have deep historical, religious, and cultural connections to this land. Both have experienced trauma and displacement. Both deserve security, dignity, and self-determination. Understanding the full context of this conflict requires recognizing multiple narratives and listening to diverse voices. We encourage you to continue learning from various sources and perspectives. In the comments, let us know what aspects of this history you'd like us to explore in greater depth in future videos. Thank you for watching. If you found this informative, please subscribe and share. For sources and further reading recommendations, check the description below.